That's intense. I don't know. That kind of freaks me out. Welcome everybody to another episode of Good or Bad Cinema. And we kind of on my channel we kind of decide whether this is good or bad after we review it. But we're going to go over we're going to do it the way Fable and Robbie have been doing on their channels. This is of course March Madness 2026. So everybody welcome in. And before we start on it, I will say this. Here is the schedule coming up. Yeah, we got some more great movies coming up, like this weekend. Falling Down at 9 p.m. Eastern on One Collection Downs channel. So I will be there for that. I think Big Jeff will be there amongst others. And then, of course, I'll be reviewing the week after that. Next week will be Devil's Rejects. And then the last week, I will be reviewing The Substance with Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. I'll probably say her name wrong, but the girl that does a little lip bite thingy all the time. So that's what I call her. She does like the lip, like she does that all the time. She's actually pretty good at it too. It's like her trademark, I guess. But anyway, but tonight we're reviewing The Serpent and the Rainbow, starring Bill Pullman, and it's directed by Wes Craven. And we're going to talk about it right now. We'll get into it. First off, I'm going to do a little introduction. I'm going to share the Wikipedia page about it. Also, interesting thing about this movie, it is based on a book that came out in 1905 called The Serpent and the Rainbow, a Harvard scientist's astounding journey into a secret society of Haitian voodoo, zombies, and magic by Wade Davis. Now, I will say it's about the book. Disclaimer about the book. His claims were criticized by most of the scientific community, accused him of being a fraud. And when we say this movie is based on a true story, it's probably loosely based because there's some stuff going on in this one. And but his name was the guy. His name was Wade Davis apparently, and so just so you know, that's the thing. It was a thing. And also, I don't really have to go over it, but let's talk about Wes Craven's bona fides. All right, this guy was a great filmmaker for horror films. He directed such movies as The Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes, Stranger in Her House, Swamp Thing, A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Hills Have Eyes Part 2, The Serpent and the Rainbow, Shocker, The People Under the Stairs, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Oddly enough, he directed Vampire in Brooklyn. I did not know that, by the way. Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, and Scream 4. He also directed the movie Curse with Christina Ricci and a movie called Red Eye. And a lot of movies. So he was a great director of horror films. Here we go. And he basically resurrected the horror genre, didn't he? With Scream, because it was a slasher genre was dead. Anyway, Serpent and the Rainbow is a 1988 American horror film directed by Wes Craven and written by Richard Maxwell and Adam Rodman. It is loosely based on the nonfiction book of the same name by botanist Wade Davis, wherein Davis recounted his experiences in Haiti, investigating the story of Clarvis Narcisse, who was allegedly poisoned, burned alive, and revived with an herbal brew, which produced that which was called a zombie. The film stars Bill Pullman, Cassie Tyson, Sakes Moke, Paul Winfield, Britt Jennings, Michael Goh, and Paul Guilfoyle. I probably said his name wrong. And it had a budget of $10 million. It made $19 million at the box office, distributed by Universal Pictures. There you go. All right. And it was like somebody leave. Okay. I thought I heard somebody pop in or something. All right.
I popped out back in.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem. That's why I got Aaron to help me out. All right, guys. So we'll go ahead and start. That was a brief introduction. Also, the trailer for this film, if you've never seen it, is it's pinned to the group in the chat. We got Kevin here. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Thanks for supporting the show as always. Station. And we're going to start out, and I will start out with Jeff. Jeff, what are your overall thoughts on The Serpent and the Rainbow?
All right, let me grab my notebook. No.
I was gonna say I didn't take notes.
So I watched last time I watched this movie, I was a kid. like, I don't know, maybe 12 years old or however old. I can't remember. Foggy memory of it. So we watched it last night. Me, Nat, and Aaron screened it. So I had a hard time finding redeeming qualities. I don't want to say the whole thing was a train wreck because I don't think that's true. It was hard. It was hard to become invested in the Bill Pullman struggle, achieve the things he was trying to achieve, and I could not get Spaceballs out of my head. And he's got that face, and when it's a serious movie and it's supposed to be tense and scary, and so here's the silver lining. The guy who played like the voodoo master, I forgot his name. I forgot his character's name. The guy, but the guy is threatening him, telling him,
We'll
"Better
get
leave,
into
baby."
acting. Yeah, we'll get into acting later.
But
They tried, right?
Patron.
yeah, but overall, the movie did not engage me. I didn't feel invested. I thought it was very choppy, and there. I don't know if maybe I'm not smart enough to understand the movie. That might be the problem. But there's a lot of my brain going, okay, what? Wait, what? So we left that scene. Now we're doing this. Where are we going? What? Why did that happen? Oh, it's the end of the movie. Okay, so that's kind of how I feel about it.
That's okay. We welcome all opinions here. Aaron, what were your overall thoughts of watching this movie? We watched it last night together.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because of Bill Pullman. I was laughing when I wasn't supposed to be, and the sequence of events had this loose kind of like subtle dreamlike aspect to it, where you're not always following the plot. And I don't know if it's because of the lack of interest or whatever it is. The mind starts wandering, but overall, I did enjoy it. But there's my overall thoughts.
Okay. Fable, same question posed to you, my friend.
Well, I'll first start off by saying some of the positive things that I liked. I liked some of the imagery in this movie. There were some images, there were some things that they did that I felt were genuinely cool, right? Like when he carried that poor lady, whatever, in the bride dress, I don't know what else her mouth and shit like that. I thought all that was pretty cool. You showed the scene of him in the coffin, blood filling up. The images like that I thought were pretty dope. But overall, I gotta say the same thing like these two gentlemen. It really did grab me the way it grabbed me when I was a child. Because I saw this movie growing up. It was one of those movies that gave constantly on TV over and over again, syndication, and I remember being freaked out about it a little bit. Like, this shit is creepy as hell. Like, but this time around, I mean, just didn't catch me that way. It kind of revs up at the end, which is pretty good, But for the most part, it's kind of I don't have any other words for it. It doesn't feel like a Wes Craven film. If that makes sense. If you're a fan of Wes Craven, I didn't get you could have told me anybody made this movie. It didn't necessarily give me that Wes Craven feel. Political backdrop in this movie didn't make a lot of sense to me, right? It's like a Haitian revolution going on, but it had nothing to do with what the fuck is going on with this zombie story. It just didn't make sense to even have that in there. Bill Pullman, like Jeff said, I was just thinking Lone Star the whole entire time. Lone Star. I was like, yeah, this dude. Don't get it twisted. I love him in Spaceballs and I love him in freaking Independence Day, but in this movie,
I love Bill Pullman.
He sucks in this movie. I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
And then zombies, right? Like it's not zombies at all. It's just like a medicine that makes you fucking go to sleep and then wake up and shit 12 hours later. Which I was like, oh, there's no real zombies in this shit. Like, I don't know. I felt like I was kind of fooled. And I agree, Jeff. I think Bill Pullman is highly attacked by his colleagues in this movie. Instantly, the death guy said the cat guy. I thought it was fantastic. Was pretty good. So yeah. Overall, I didn't enjoy this movie as much as I thought I would.
Okay. Cliff, what are your overall thoughts of this movie?
First of all, I don't know what movie y'all saw. Number one. Number two, Fable. I love you. Fix your microphone. It's driving me crazy.
That's not me.
Oh, it is you. You're there like I was. And there's no copies of this movie.
It was coming through. It's coming through a little muffled.
Choppy.
All right, hold on. Let me get my headphones.
I was just about to send a message to him.
I was gonna say, Matt already sent in the private chat. He's like, Fable, fix your microphone. It's muffled. And I'm like, you need to know. You need to know.
How do I sound now?
Way better. Way better.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Good. All right.
Now-
Let me go back to my thoughts again. No, I'm just. Go ahead, Cliff.
So we got your thoughts. You gave me enough for me to go. What movie are y'all watching? First of all, the imagery alone for 1988 should tell you this is a Wes Craven film. Okay, knowing this is a Wes Craven film and all this dreamlike stuff. Now I'm hearing an echo because I'm too passionate. All of this dreamlike stuff, okay, is our calm, collected professor, okay, becoming terrified, confused, and overwhelmed. That's what we're supposed to be going through that lens, right? Just like, and obviously this is 1988, and it's going to take a while for us to get to better films like 12 Monkeys, where you've got an all-star crew, right, to warp your perception the whole movie, the music, the sound, the visuals. Wes Craven had to do with what he had to do, all right? Also, I can separate Bill Pullman's characters. Apparently, other people cannot. So I was okay. The being buried alive scene, okay, is integral because that's like a real Haitian cultural fear, right? And the fact that there's a political thing going on because politically at that time in Haiti, they used mythology and stories about zombification, all that. They used that as part of political manipulation and political warfare and fear.
It's
right?
interesting to bring it up, Cliff, because there was a guy that ran the country called Papa Doc that practiced black voodoo.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, that is exact. So I guess knowing that going into the film, all right, I knowing that going into the film, I can see where everything was happening. And again, I'm extremely forgiving for this movie because it's 1988, you know. But I do think that freaking what's his name, the guy who plays Picard, I thought he's great. I think he's a memorable villain. I think he's genuinely frightening, but yes, you got to think of this movie.
I bought into him.
Yeah, as you should. But by buying into him, you have to buy into the fact that the layers of reality are peeling away like an onion for Bill Pullman, right? And even at the end of the movie, where he thinks that he can cling to normalcy, there is no more normalcy to cling on to.
And there's the actor's name. I don't want to ruin the pronunciation. So that's who Cliff's talking about. All right. Chad, what are your overall thoughts of the Serpent and the Rainbow?
Overall, I believe I've seen this before as like on a rerun on cable. I seem to remember a few of the scenes, but don't really remember much anything else. And they were the very heavy image-laden scenes. I'm guessing that Fable is referencing. I'm glad I revisited it. As a student of like a history of religion, including Catholicism and voodoo, and really it's a mix of the two, what you're looking at there. I've heard it called Creole voodoo, Haitian voodoo. It's a mix of the two. So that, the imagery, and just revisiting an old Wes Craven film. You know, there's it's definitely not a perfect film, but I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, I agree with everybody's thought. I mean, sometimes if you try to think about, if all you're thinking about Spaceballs, I get it. You're gonna be like, oh no, this guy's like, but
Yeah.
you know, it actually
Aaron?
got some good movie memories. Although I must have been smoking a lot of marijuana when I watched this movie a long time ago. But like, I think Cliff's right though. It's not supposed to be like altogether like straight narrative. Like his sanity is slipping more and more. Like the you know, the further we go on in the movie, and like it's kind of terrifying. Like it doesn't scare me as much now as it did when I was a kid. But you know, the thought about being buried alive, like the intro video we showed tonight, that terrifies me. That and you're not being able to control your own body, you know. And also a little history of that guy, Papa Doc. He had one of his political opponents beheaded and kept his head in a closet in his office in the capital of Haiti. And another one of his political opponents he believed could turn into a black dog. So he had his militia go around killing all the black dogs in the capital of Haiti. So this guy was like out there, and he was like playing the U.S. against the communists. He would claim to not be anti-communist, just so we would give him money.
Ban Led Zeppelin 4.
And then he would go, suckers, you gave me money because I said I didn't like Cuba. You know, so this guy was a bad dude. He tried to tell about he was the embodiment of the Jah or the Awa, they call it, which means spirit in Haitian. And so, yeah, you know, it's like steeped in that culture with that zombie. There are cases this where they've made people like a zombie. I don't know how correct the book is. Now, I don't know if you could actually do that with a puffer fish or anything, but like the guy that plays the is so like we'll get into acting later, but yeah, I agree with you on the villain. He's a perfect bad guy. But you know, of course, you know, if we were rational people, you know, after you got your scrotum nailed to a fucking chair, I think I would be on the first plane smoking out of town. But I guess Bill Pullman really wanted that bonus or whatever from the pharmaceuticals. I don't know, but I think what it was obviously he had a thing for Kathy Tyson's character, and I'll be honest with you, after watching this movie again, I think I kind of have a thing for Kathy Tyson as well. You know, gorgeous lady. But overall, it's a fun trip down memory lane. Is it going to win an Oscar? No. Is it Wes Craven's best film? Probably not. So, but you know, and am I echoing real bad still? Okay.
No, you're good.
Was there a TV? I don't know. And we got Immortal Biggie Chic said that shirt brings up your.
Who's the Biggie Chic? This is interesting.
I don't know. Well, we're doing a movie show, so I'll bring him on and interview him sometime. All right. So cast. I'll start with Fable this time. What is a favorite character that you could highlight in this film, Fable? We'll start with you.
Well, I think we talked about him a lot. I'm going to steal him right off the bat. Villain, Petrard. Is that how you say his name?
I believe so.
Petrard.
Yeah. Darton
Yeah.
Petrard. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a creepy dude, man. He gives off creepy ass vibes. That smirk or smile that he has with that one gold tooth. I don't know. There's something about it that's like, holy shit, this guy is not to be fucked with. You could definitely believe that he's a voodoo like warlock or whatever the hell he is. And he's just very believable in the role. The man does his thing. I definitely would not fuck with him, especially after getting my scrotum nailed to a chair. It's like, there's no peace in this world that get me to stay in Haiti after that. And he, my God, how many times did Bill Pullman get pulled into the station? My God, like 3 or 4 times. He gets pulled off the plane. I mean, this guy just doesn't get the fucking picture. But Petrard absolutely, I think, eats up every scene he's in. He chews it all up. So yeah, definitely the standout for me.
All right, Cliff. What's a cast member that stands out to your character?
I mean, I feel like I should give it to the villain because he's really fantastic. But since not to give it all to the villain, I will give it to Bill Pullman. You know? I mean, Bill Pullman took a beating in this movie, and y'all are like, "Oh, Lone Star," and I'm just like, "This man took a beat down." Look at how much weird shit he had to do in this film, just for that alone. Just
He
for
was
that
acting
alone.
weird doing it too.
Well, he had a leopard on him one time.
I mean, my God, you
Bill
know.
got dumped in the street with just his tighty whities bleeding out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, exactly. You know, which again, under different circumstances, might be a little hot, but no.
It was humiliating.
No, exactly. It was humiliating. I thought it was great. I thought his reactions were great, and I thought he captured the descent into the unraveling of his world and mind. Right? I thought he captured that well for me to guide me through what was happening psychologically, visually, and in the storyline until he's like out of it. But yeah, no, like he wasn't like extraordinarily goofy, So I was, but I was pleased. He was a good front man to just be like, "Hey, I'm a skeptical scientist," and then just like, let's watch this unravel.
There's something innately funny about him, though. And
There may be something innately funny about him, but maybe I can look past it. Maybe because I've met him through my ex-boyfriend. Maybe because
There we go. We got it.
maybe. Well, I know he is a wonderful actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Bill Pullman, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But anyhow, listen. I feel like he's got the chops here. I'm not going to go on and on about it. I'm going to give this one to Bill Pullman.
All right, Chad. Highlight a character you liked in the movie.
I'm gonna have to go with Lucian, the good witch doctor, I guess you could say, the positive voodoo priest.
Played by the famous actor Paul Winfield, by the way.
Yes, exactly. And I've seen him in many other roles. I think he's a fantastic actor, and definitely one of the highlights of this film. Like just the heroic, I believe when he pulls off he's got like not a rosary, but something similar, like beads that he pulls off. I think it was protective, that was protecting him against Petrard, right? And then he puts it on Bill and says, he gives him, the advice of like, hey, this is in your mind. This is where it's going to be fought.
with the red cross on the forehead and all that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And as soon as he does that, he starts like bleeding, and scorpion comes out of his mouth. So, that was pretty heroic. And man, he's just a great actor. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. Aaron, why don't you highlight an actor or performance you liked in this movie?
A performance I liked, I could say, but I don't know if there was any standout like performance. But what I liked was the con artist kind of / friend of Bill Pullman. I thought that was an interesting character.
Brent Jennings.
Yeah, after even Bill Pullman had a pistol in his face, dude showed up and still managed to take Bill Pullman's watch from him. In a nice, in a friendly manner. So.
Yeah, and Brent Jennings was a famous character actor. He was in a movie with Robert Redford called Brubaker, which was his first film. The one where Redford's running trying to reform a corrupt prison. Really good movie, by the way.
Awesome.
He was also in 48 Hours, and he also made a lot. You've probably seen him from he made a lot of guest spots on TV shows like Hunter. Remember the show Hunter? And Miami Vice, he's on a lot of stuff like that. So yeah,
he was I stole your guy. He's the lovable con artist, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Jeff, highlight an actor's performance in this film.
I'm with Fable. I got to go with Zekas Moke. Is that how you say it?
I guess.
Guy that plays Darjant Petrov. He's one of the him and Kathy Tyson, I think, did a really good job. But I think he stole it with his performance because he was a believable villain. There was some anxiety, with the things that happened on the chair and such, and Lone Star, man, he couldn't stay out of that room. I don't know why he kept coming back, but he kept coming back.
Yeah, the villain he was very smug.
Yeah,
too,
he
right?
was.
Like,
Yeah, he
in
was
an
in
evil
control. He had the power and he knew it. He was. And it wasn't just like it wasn't just the horrible physical things that he was doing to Bill Pullman's character. He was letting him know, he's like, you'd never get to escape me. You don't get to die. You don't get to live. You don't even get to dream. I'll follow you in your dreams. So that type of stuff, that starts to build a little bit of anxiety and fear. And I think that's what this movie wanted to do. And probably succeeded for a lot of people, just not me.
And here, there's a good scene where like he kind of like is trying to punk him out, right? He got over the chair before he does the thing with the nail. He pulls out a blowtorch. Oh shit, he's going to use a blowtorch on this dude. I'm just going to light my cigar.
Again, Bill Pullman, it straight up looks like a dude terrified of his nuts being nailed into a chair. I'm like, he's giving us his all. Okay, I mean, like, you can like tell me you can have a straight face pretending to be there with that giant ass blowtorch and that dude just smoking.
I'll say this, and you can play that clip again, Matt. If I'm about to get blowtorched or staked in my scrotum, I'm going to be moving a lot more than old Billy was in that chair, I'll tell you
because he can barely move. He's cuffed and shackled and shit. I thought it was fine. I don't understand. I thought it was good.
I enjoyed it. I'm not saying
I'll play another clip from that scene.
I leave the face.
That chair be going sideways.
This one right here freaked me out.
You want to hear me scream? Again.
And he wasn't convinced, right? Until he actually had to scream.
Listen, epic torture, full on. I think this is bordering on torture porn, but still, like,
yeah,
like they delivered on the psychological terror part of this movie.
Well, I guess the only one left for me is this fine lady, Kathy Tyson. She was a British actress. I thought she was great as she was like, she kind of had her foot in both worlds, right? She was a psychiatrist, but she was also, she knew all the practices, these voodoo practices and stuff, and she actually believed it, And the funny thing is about that is like, like remember Constantine when Rachel Weisz says, "I don't believe in the devil," he goes, "Well, he believes in you."
Yeah.
So the thing is, like people can make fun of people's beliefs until they get caught up in, like, I don't know, but even if you don't believe it, you can get in your mindset with this is the way you really think. And I think she was really good in the role, and it kind of made it look like she was trying to tell Bill Pullman, you need to take things a little bit more seriously. You know what I mean? Because he thought it was all a joke. I think I like to see it through her eyes because we're seeing it through Bill Pullman's eyes. You're seeing it through the eyes of an outsider from the West that doesn't know anything about this culture. And she's been in both cultures, so she knows. And she's like, look, this is how it is, And I really thought she was great in it as the love interest. Mm-hmm. And that one scene where they're in the cave was kind of hot, y'all. I'm just saying, it was pretty hot. So, but no, she's also a great actress. I didn't think just because she's pretty. I just
after you see her dance, you're like, okay, Bill Pullman's in for a night.
And if you're like, why did he go back? All I gotta say is, I'll tell you why he went back, because he went back because of Kathy Tyson. He had went native, y'all. Okay, And he was like, "Yeah, I love this girl. She wasn't in a lot of movies though. I looked at her, her nominations. Okay, it didn't show like her. She looks she's done a lot of stage stuff, and but like I think Wes Craven did a great job casting her though. So I have to give it up for Kathy Davis. Is definitely. Cassie Tyson. Sorry, and Kathy Davis. That one girl was in the ref with. Never mind. Anyway, all right, we're going to go on. We're moving on. Style and structure. We'll talk about the writing, the story, and the cinematography. And this time I'll start with Big Jeff.
Okay, it had style. The visuals were cool. We're in revolutionary Haiti. We're in the jungle. We're wrestling with leopards. We're getting buried alive. There's zombies. So style, I think the style was good. Structure, as far as I'm concerned, structure just falls apart. It's too choppy. It's disconnected. I think I know what they were trying to do, but they just didn't execute. So what? It was style, structure, and what? Sorry.
Cinematography.
Oh, cinema, and I'll say, I think the cinematography kind of goes along with the style. I think they had some good shots. Again, like the buried alive shot. That's always going to resonate with people. I like the atmosphere that the cinematography brought to the movie, and like the tribal dances and the people in headdresses and face makeup and all that stuff. It made it very believable where he was. He was the white Westerner in a completely different world. Which gives you that feeling of uncomfortableness. You're not secure. You're not safe because you're not home. There ain't no rules here like there is where you live. It's a different place.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're messing around with some shit that you don't really know what you're fooling around with. You know what I mean? And but he's a glutton for punishment for sure. But that's what I'll say about the style, structure, and cinematography.
Yeah, I like the style. If I'm next, right, Matt?
Yeah, you're next.
So the style going into that, was it a mental hospital, and some of the shots there with the unruly hair and someone on the edge like that. A lot of the Haitian lady. I thought I was like viewing a comic book at one point. I really enjoyed that. So there was definitely awesome special effects throughout. Definitely some that induced some primal fear, the fear of being buried and stuff like that. Structurally, there was parts of the movie where I realized I'm like, okay, now what? So I know there was like a pause there. There shouldn't have been, but like Cliff, says it's from 1988 or something, or 87. But yeah, overall, cinematography was okay, and structure was okay.
All right, same with you, Fable.
Yeah, no, style is great in this movie. I think Big Jeff hit it. Showing you the jungle, showing you the rural areas of the Caribbean islands. You know what I mean? This kind of thing kind of exists on all the Caribbean islands. I don't care if you're from Jamaica, Cuba, Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
There's a factor of heavy Catholicism mixed with a voodoo tinge to it, right? Like we have something in our culture, Cliff could tell you, called Santeria.
Yep.
And it's sort of the same thing, right? We have our own voodoo priests, and there's people that go to them and they do certain rituals and shit like that to cleanse you, and you know what I mean. It is a part of culture, and I think they did a great job showing that, right? It was raw in that way, right? Like they didn't shy away from the poverty some of these places, just showing you how connected to the earth these people are, right? Great visuals, like you said. I love some of the imagery. Like I said, the lady in the dress, voodoo lady, whatever she was, I think she looked fantastic. Some of the arms coming out trying to grab him at the end, coming through the fucking the jail cell. Um, even the jars and stuff. Like he had all these collection of jars, which was supposed to be everybody's soul and things like that. And I don't care if it was 88. There's a lot of great shit in 88 and before 88, cinematography and horror wise. But the structure, I agree with Aaron and Big Jeff, where it is a little slow in telling its story, and we just don't know where they're going with this thing. I don't think it hits its stride until the last half hour. He gets buried alive, and then shit hits the fan. The revolution is happening and everything at the same time, and I just think that picks up the pace a lot more.
It saves her life there.
Yeah, I think it has a pacing problem. And the reason why I say the revolutionary stuff, even though it was going on at the time, doesn't have really anything to do with the movie unless the president of Haiti is involved, right? Like, because he flees the country at the end of the movie. But it was like, but who cares, right? Like, we're not even talking about it.
Yeah.
We're talking about getting this drug, this miracle drug, back to the States and the shit that this guy has to go through to get it.
Yeah.
So I think it has a big pacing issue. The structure is a little slow for me. But imagery and all that, like style wise, I think it's pretty good. I think it definitely nails, that like Jeff said, that foreign world. Like you're stepping into a whole nother place. This is totally different than what you're used to. And you don't get that more than when Bill Pullman goes back home. And you see the home he's in, right? And even the way that's directed is a little different, right? It's real clean. Everything is real sharp. So, yeah, no, I think style is great. Structure leaves a lot to be desired.
All right. Cliff.
All right. So, okay, the genre problem with this movie. All right. It's one part anthropological investigation, one part supernatural horror, one part political thriller, right? Now, our villain represents both the supernatural horror and the political thriller, right? That's why the revolution happening, the revolution taking place on the material world is supposed to be parallel to Bill Pullman's battle on the spiritual plane. Does that make sense to you? I
get it. I just don't think they connect.
Oh, I don't think it's done great. I don't think it's done great. And you're right. Also, I don't know the budget for this movie. 88 was a very freaky deaky time. All right. I'm just gonna assume there were some struggles, and struggles equals let's do what we can with what we have, right?
$10 million.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Well, in my opinion, just looking at this movie and knowing what Wes Craven done before and going forward, I think this is a paycheck movie.
They did have a $10 million. They had a $10 million budget in 1988.
I think he took it. Some directors do that. They take the money, man. He didn't write this.
I think that final scene with the burn up and the ground opening up and swallowing home. Yes. I think that's where the 10 million went. I think that's where the 10 million, because they did not have them effects weren't just waiting to happen back in 88. So anyhow, the cinematography is hallucinatory intentionally, right? Where the dreams bleed into reality repeatedly, right? I think that works and fantastically. I also think this film serves as like a prototype, not a prototype. Maybe a prototype for the psychological horror film genre a little bit, even though I feel we kind of got some before, but this is definitely a prototype film for that.
I agree with that.
But I have to say, style, you're right. It's style 100%. And structure 50-60%. Like you can't tell me there wasn't effort, right? There's effort. It just, sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we just don't know what's going to happen. But again, by 88 standards, this ruled because syndication, on all the time. When we rented this from the video store as a family, everybody was scared, and half the people we watched it all believed it was 100% real. Oh no, you don't know that shit. Oh, you don't know what goes on over there. Plus, we had no internet. So if you think ignorance is rampant now, back then, the Twilight Zone can tell you all about the ignorance back then. So that's it. Those are my thoughts on Starling.
There you go, Chad. What do you think?
Yep, I pretty much agree with all of you. I think the style is great. The different scenes, the different atmospheres are brought across very well. Where it falls short is the structure. I think they're trying to do too many things. Like Cliff's saying, there's so many different genres pushed into one. And then I'm sorry, like the narration bit that's going on, the expositional thing, just really fell flat for me. It felt like they were trying to do like an Apocalypse Now bit, but like it held like no weight to me really. Yeah, I appreciated the cinematography. It had some great scenes that even if that's all I remembered from a previous viewing, I did remember that. I like the imagery of the different culture and beliefs. So yeah, in those respects, I definitely liked it.
Cliff, do you think, like you said, prototype for the psych thriller, right? Do you think this would be like the first in a line of movies? Like, do you know the movie Jacob's Ladder?
Yes.
I think
So
Jack Ladder's
in that,
they
you
came
think
out before this,
in that
man.
vein?
And I think I am right. And Jacob's Ladder has better structure for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
It came out
here's
before this.
See, I think that this movie, for me personally, didn't execute as well as Jacob's Ladder did in getting a hold of you with that, dreamy, is it real, is it not, type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You know what?
Jacob's Ladder was much better at getting us to narrow in on our main character and their perspective. This was a little more like environmental and main character blend.
But I also think that Jacob's Ladder gave you a lot of visual cues. It didn't explain itself. It left it up to you to interpret its imagery. Whereas in this movie, it explained itself a whole lot. Like when he sees the leopard in the forest and it leads him to the road, they should have just left it at that. But then the guy tells you what happened. He's like, yeah, he saw a spirit animal and it led him back to America. And then when he gets his scrotum nailed to the thing, they don't show you nailing his scrotum, but you can use your fucking imagination where that nail is going. Right?
Yeah.
And then in the very next scene, they're like, yeah, my scrotum is still attacked or something like that. Even in the narration, like Chad said. And
Yeah.
they do a lot of that. A lot of the shit that should inform you just from its pure visuals, it just ruins it with exposition right after explaining what the hell just. I don't know if you guys caught on to that. With Jacob's Ladder
Yeah.
or movies in that vein, they just go and you figure it out, and then you can have all this conjecture about it later. Like,
Yeah. Well, I agree. Like, okay, I don't really think it nailed. Like, I know it's trying to be a psychological thriller, but it was like 100% style, maybe 50% substance, right?
Well, I did find it thought-provoking about the puffer fish and how these zombies could happen, and also the intrusive nightmares that the voodoo priest could render onto someone. I thought that was interesting.
Well, as far as like psychological thrillers too, I think Jacob's Ladder could do it better. I would also make an argument that the 1981 Brian De Palma film Blowout with John Travolta was probably better at the psychological. And then I don't know if you remember a movie of Michael Caine in the early 80s called Dressed to Kill. Very psychological thriller. Like I think he's wanted to go in all over the voodoo, and then he wanted to bring in the political thing probably because of historical figures like Papa Doc, but I don't think that it was executed that well. Now, maybe if the voodoo bad guy had been the leader of Haiti, it might have helped more. But he was just like an enforcer guy.
that's what I would say too. And I would also add, probably would have dug this a lot more had it spent the first half of this movie with him being exposed to all the supernatural elements and then going back home and still experiencing it, right? Because
Yeah.
that scene where that lady, his friend, assume, attacks him and then talks in the voodoo priest's
Yeah,
voice.
I think you're right, Fable.
Yeah, that kind of shit was great.
Like
You know
when
what I
he
mean?
left, when everyone thought he should have left.
Yeah, he
Right?
sees the
After,
hand come out of the
and he
the
tried to
chute.
leave and he couldn't, and he had to come back. That would have
Mhm.
probably been better.
Yeah. I
Do you
agree.
guys remember a movie In the Mouth of Madness? I think
Yeah.
Sam Neill's in it. It
Yeah.
kind
Oh
of
my-
reminds me of this a bit.
Except that one had wilder visual cues.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, I enjoyed
John
that one
Carpenter.
more as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
again, it's not like this movie is not enjoyable.
Yeah, I have to say, I was smiling when I shouldn't have been, but I was, I liked it actually. So, I thought it was thought provoking too.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go on to the music. I guess we'll start with Fable this time. Fable, what do you think of the score of Serpent and the Rainbow and the soundtrack?
Nothing that really stuck with me
Yeah, me
per
either.
se. There's no memorable theme to the music, and that's not a necessity for every movie. Like, not everything has to have a damn Superman or. But did like some of the rural music that was involved, some of the drumming, right? The congas,
Yeah.
and that whole Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean feel to it.
Yes.
Definitely dig that. I think that was well represented. But for the most part, most of the music wasn't that noticeable, which isn't a bad thing. Right? I always say that. If you don't notice it, as long as it doesn't take away, we're good, But I did like the representation when I did catch it of the music of the area.
All right, Cliff.
All right,
Let's go.
so Brad Fidel, right? He is the man behind Terminator, Terminator 2, Terminator Judgment Day.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Right. So this man understood sound and music for this movie, and he delivered them the way they should have been. We get tribal rhythm, we get ethereal chanting, which I think is very important to try to sell us on those spiritual moments, right? Or that like quasi spiritual, quasi hallucinatory thing, right? And then he gives us some horror tones, like the final battle feels very Final Battle Wes Craven-y, it feels like, all right, we're coming after Freddy, we're going after Michael, we're taking down Jason, he handled all that. So I think he did. I think he did a great job for what we were working with, and I think he may have chosen some subtle. He may have made choices for subtlety here, but I think it lends itself to the movie. So because this man clearly knows what he's doing, so I got to give that to him.
All right, Chad, what do you think of the music score of Serpent and the Rainbow?
I have to agree with Cliff and Fable. Not a whole lot to add. I didn't notice it a ton. It was very underwhelming, and I think that was on purpose. It was very kind of a smooth jazz feel in certain things where you need to be relaxed. And then there was also that contrast of the tribal music going on that, pumped you up and got you going. I think the sound design was really good on this. You guys mentioned like the chanting, even like when he's walking through a scene, the cars and the background voices were mixed brilliantly. All the different sounds. It made you feel like you were there. So I think they did a good job. On to Aaron.
All right, so yeah, I did notice the music, especially during the tense or action scenes. It was derivative of the Terminator, that do 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 do, right? So I thought that kind of put a smile to my face. I kind of felt it was a little generic in that respect, but I could tell it was the same composer. I did like the the other music as well, the tribal music. So overall, it was okay.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything to say about the music. Usually, it's the case that the score has done its job if it's not really in the forefront of your brain. But trying to think, do I remember any music building any tension or anything? And I don't. And I guess the only silver lining for me for sound on this movie is like they were saying, like the tribal sounding music in certain scenes when they're in Haiti.
Yeah. Well, it kind of took me out of it at times. Like I like the tribal thing, but like Aaron kind of made the point last night, and I can't unhear it now. The main theme they played in the song, it sounds like Terminator. That's what I kept thinking Terminator. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like when I was listening to it. But I don't know.
But,
so we're going to get into the theme. So we'll start with Jeff this time. Jeff, this should be interesting. What is this movie trying to say? What are the overall themes, of this movie?
There's certainly more than one.
Jeff's not smart enough to pick up on any of them. I can't really outline any theme that jumps out at me, to tell you the truth. It was just too choppy and too disjointed for me.
Okay. Aaron, what?
I guess
what
the
theme?
theme would.
What's this movie trying to tell you? Yeah, what's this movie trying to tell you?
It's posing the question of, is the spirit world real? Is voodoo real? It's based on a book, I guess, that seems interesting, although I never read it. And like Cliff brought up before, the nightmare sequences, whether can someone affect you in that manner and drive you insane? So I think that's the theme or the question: is the spirit voodoo real? Is it real or is it not real?
All right, Fable, what do you think this movie's trying to tell us?
Well, there's definitely an underlying theme of like science versus mysticism, right? Like they're definitely you've got this pharmaceutical company or whatever trying to figure out their next drug, their next anesthesia, and they can't crack the code, right? And then you got these guys who are into this whole other thing, right? Not scientific at all, but they're able to crack the code with what they do. How interesting those worlds intersect, right? Like, but ultimately, I think it's a case of fuck around and find out, right? Like,
Yeah. If you're not in your neighborhood, right?
You want to come over here,
Yeah.
and you want to know what this shit is about, son? Let me tell you what this shit is about. I don't think you're ready for this. You know what I mean? I don't think you're ready for what doors you're about to open.
Actually, for you, now that you said that, Fable, it made me think of watching last night with Aaron and Matt. I was going to ask them. I didn't ask them because I didn't want to interrupt, but I was thinking, I was like, is this movie trying to say, where do we draw the line with ethical research into certain things?
100%.
Certain types of things.
Those guys.
This deals with the world right between death and life, right?
Yeah.
Should we be playing around there? I don't know.
The pharmaceutical guys just want to make a profit at any cost. Right? They don't give a shit what culture is being affected or whatever. And then if you notice Petrard, he might be a bad guy, and he is. He's a fucking evil dude. But he didn't care about the money. He cared about what they were going to exploit from his culture. At the end of the day, right? Like that's what he even tells Pullman, like, your money. Like, you're not stealing my voodoo secrets. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
selling it to your homies. Like, so yeah, no, definitely has that, Jeff. And yeah, just like around and find out, bro. Like, you really want this? Are you ready? I don't think you're ready.
All right. Yeah, well, go ahead, guys. I got something I got to do real quick. Who we left off there? It's Cliff. Cliff, go ahead.
All right, so the Western arrogance issue is what Fable was describing, right? So this whole film is like, oh, you think your Western science can answer all of this? You know, fear as a source of control, right? And that's why this dude isn't even interested in money because he's more interested in the power he has, right? Although also he doesn't want his culture explained. He's slightly complicated villain. I will give him that.
It is, yeah.
Using the power of belief, right? But also the power of belief is what saves him in the end, right? For Dennis there, Bill Pullman's character. And then the whole idea of death and rebirth, right? And loss of identity. And did Bill Pullman's character lose his identity in this film? Right? Because
he lost something.
He's not his scrotum was intact. And
apparently, I didn't mean that. I mean, I think he lost some of himself.
No, I definitely think he lost some of himself. And I think the real life guy probably went a little crazy too, from what I could tell. But again, this movie really got into the whole death and rebirth, being buried alive, all that symbolism, which I think was the high point that it sold. One of the high points it sold in this movie. But yeah, I think this movie definitely poorly, but it did deliver on science versus mysticism, fears control, using power through belief, right? In a good way and in a manifestation way, right? Or no, in a bad way and a manifestation way, right? So like, I kind of like that. What is voodoo? And is voodoo a type of psychological manipulation as well, right? Like this movie may not be great, but it sets up some questions for us. It's just kind of a difficult watch. I'm really glad Bill Pullman was there.
Good job.
Yep. All right. So themes, probably reiterating the same things you guys said. Capitalism. The people back home did not give a shit where that medicine came from, what it was. It was just bottom dollar. Like, oh, think about, we can market this to the entire world. Think about the profits. Like cultural appropriation kind of mixes into that, right? Like the superiority complex of the West. Like, we're just going to take another culture's, mystical medicine and we'll figure out the chemical formula of it, just patent it for ourselves, and then sell it to the entire world. You guys said power, both the power of the dollar, them going into the foreign country to try to do this thing, him buying his way around, the power of the Haitian government, and like that's kind of how the story ends, right? Like it starts to fall. The president or chancellor or whatever it was, his family is fleeing the country, so then all bedlam just happens. Like they realize they're no longer oppressed, so they go after the secret police, the Mukata or whatever. Propaganda would go into that. They're pulling down the vestiges of the chancellor's family. Like, that is propaganda. They're putting themselves up there as these figures to be worshipped, feared, and controlled. All of that, along with overtones of life, death, the afterlife, transcendent experiences, nightmares, psychedelics, as well as chemical engineering. That chemical is it's a real chemical. It's called
Yeah, it is.
tetrodotoxin. It's in
Pufferfish.
Yep, along with like 5 other species of fish in that region.
Blue squid, blue octopus.
Yep. Um, so it does. It's a real thing, and it will make you appear like that you're dead. It will suppress your uh, autonomic your basic life functions will go to a point, breathing and all that. It looks like you're dead, but you're not.
Bring her a treat.
What's that?
He was talking to the dog.
Oh,
I was talking to the dog. The dog's trying to aggravate me right now. Sorry.
Sorry, buddy.
Yep.
It's okay, puppy.
So that's it.
I'm sorry. You're not aggravating me, puppy. It's okay.
Are you guys familiar with something called sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Yes.
That type of thing. I think it was trying to deal with that or something similar to that type of. I've had it, and
So
I've had
have I.
pretty bad episodes of it, terrifying episodes of it. And I think they were trying to capture that in this movie,
Yeah.
or communicate that sometimes.
Yeah.
That,
Also-
except I think this is more frightening with the hey, I'm going to command your body situation.
Yeah.
Well, I also think one of the themes of this movie is messing around with stuff you don't fully understand. You got to be careful. He's messing around with culture he didn't fully understand, traditions he didn't understand, in a country he didn't understand. I mean, in an island country. So, there are different like customs in different places, and like he kind of scoffed at it, right? He was scoffing at it at first, but he became a believer. Another theme of this movie is if you get your scrotum nailed to a chair, get the fuck out of the country. All right.
Yeah.
But also like I don't know. It's also like he's Harvard educated or whatever, and this guy's a very smart guy, so he can't wrap his mind around the fact that there's stuff out there that you can't explain, whether it be psychosomatic or an actual, voodoo curse.
Well, it's a general, like Cliff I think said, arrogance. It's a lack of respect for getting certain results, right? Like these guys did things not in the scientific way, not in the way we were taught. You know what I mean? They go about it a whole different way, and there's a whole their thing, and it's connected to your soul and your religion and the earth, and it's a really deep process to come up with these tinctures, these medicines, right? Like this guy, like you said, Bill Pullman at first was like, you put a puffer fish and
you gotta and that's the first of it. He's like in Brazil or something, right? And I'm assuming they gave him ayahuasca or something, or they call that stuff. And like you see a lot of people nowadays from the West going out there and doing that, they get involved in stuff that they probably shouldn't be getting involved with. And you got to be careful. Like, I think they did try to play up the Indiana Jones thing a little bit, but it kind of worked. I think like it's supposed to be an adventure. So let's not say it's like the Alan Quartermain movies, because those movies are just ass. So I wouldn't put it. See, like there's a certain kind of bad cinema. Is this a bad cinema? No, I don't think it's really bad cinema, but like it's not really good, but it's not really bad. But like I said, the themes like also like even if you didn't believe that, like you can go mad like that stuff. Like the guy was like driving people mad. Like, can you imagine? Like the guy at the first of it being buried, you see a tear going down his face because he's not dead. Oh my God, I've had nightmares about that, and that's why that one scene in Kill Bill always fucks with me, where they bury Uma Thurman. Of course, they didn't know she was a highly trained kung fu master who can get out of anything. But you gotta watch out for Uma Thurman.
Well, being buried alive is pretty fucking scary. But you know what's scary too? When people randomly run up to you and spit shit in your face. That should happen like 2 or 3 times.
Oh my God.
Or pop up in your nightmares.
Thanks for the terror, folks. Love that.
Yeah.
If you tell me you're gonna pop up in my nightmare and then you do, yeah, I'm gonna have to come after you. You can't live no more.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and also that part's frightening. We didn't talk about, but the blonde-headed girl chewing the glass. Oh my God,
Oh yeah,
that
that was
was crazy.
cringe.
Possession.
That was crazy. All right, now we're going to go around here. This should get very interesting. Jeff, 1 to 5. What do you rate it? And do you think this movie is good cinema or bad cinema?
This is gonna sound I don't know. It's like it doesn't sound like it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna give it a 2, but I don't think that it's bad cinema. I think that it was just missed execution. I think I don't know. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, what's 1 to 5?
2.
Did you? Oh, a 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's bad. I think you said.
No, I said
No.
it's good cinema. It didn't
Oh.
execute.
Okay, Aaron.
So
1 to 5
I
rating, and is it good or bad? You got to do both.
I rate the good and bad thing. Okay, if it's a bad movie, it means it has a whole bunch of cringe in it, but doesn't mean it wasn't enjoyable. Where a good movie is just solid cinema, you know. So I would say it's definitely good, you know, and I would give it a 3.5. I don't think it was that terrible. I didn't cringe at all. There were some low points in the movie where I noticed that, okay, I was wondering, all right, let's move this along. So great themes, cool special effects. Bill Pullman wasn't terrible. He was just funny to me when he wasn't supposed to be, you know. And so overall, I enjoyed it. So 3.5.
Okay, we got a 2 and a 3.5. Fable. Oh, is it good or bad, Aaron? Good.
I would rate it as a good.
Okay.
What I rate bad is there a cringe factor that makes it bad, but you could still enjoy the bad cinemas. You know, it's the cringe factor. There was no cringe going on, so it makes it a good, solid movie.
I would say, as far as good or bad cinema, I would also have to agree with Big Jeff and say it's good cinema. I don't think it's bad cinema. It's not. If there's something that is bad, I don't think it was intentionally bad. I think they sought out to make a point, just didn't get there, like Big Jeff said. I agree with Cliff when he says there's like a bunch of genres that try to match together: political thriller, supernatural thriller, all this other stuff. But I just don't think it's cohesive enough. It doesn't stick together. It doesn't have a through line through all of these different kind of things that it's trying to do. But it's trying to do them. Right. So I'm giving them points for giving it
Yeah.
a shot, right? Like,
Yep.
and it has a great premise, right? Like,
Yeah.
go to the jungle, get this medicine that only there you would find this thing, right? Like the rainforest kind of thing. You could only find it there, and this other world that you stumble upon that you don't understand, and you have to kind of be humbled and gain respect for it in order to
Yeah.
understand it. So I think the premise and what they were trying to do is admirable, but it isn't cohesive enough in the end for me to give it any more than a 2.5. I think it's mid.
Okay. Cliff. 1 to 5.
3.5. I'm going to agree on 3.5. Problems with pacing, problems with tone, unforgettable imagery and atmosphere. So I'm going to give it that. So yeah, good and 3.5.
All right, that's a solid score. Chad.
Yep. First off, I'm going to say it's good cinema. I watch a lot of bad cinema, and I watch it on purpose. Like, bottom line, movies should be entertaining. Doesn't matter what the budget is, as long as it's entertaining. Altogether, I would put it at a solid 3. even without the great visuals, I think it would still, even if it was half as good, it would still get like a 2.5. Like there's still good parts of this, but with those few visual scenes that they nailed, 3 for me.
Okay, that's solid. I too think there was some missed opportunity a lot in this movie. Um, although I will say at the end of it, the Schwartz was strong with Bill Pullman. He's
Yeah.
all of a sudden he turned into Jean Grey.
Yeah,
but,
at the end there, sure.
But the doggy, she gives it a 3, and I give it a 3. Right, Ivy? All right. So you know what? This has been a great show. I really thought we did good. It shows you that we're not completely biased on this channel. I don't just grab movies that are all the way good, but overall, everybody thought it was good cinema. So it gets the good stamp. Although, like Aaron said, sometimes bad's kind of subjective, but we do have something to talk about with Friday night. One Collection Down, Fable. Tell us about what we're doing Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry. that might be my bad. Yeah, join us this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern over on One Collection Down channel as March Madness continues. We're ending off the week with the Michael Douglas film Falling Down, which I think
Hell yeah.
I think your perception of this film when you saw it and what was going on at the time versus today and what's going on today may color your, not that you wouldn't like the movie, but I think it'll be an interesting watch in today's climate versus when it came out. Right? Like a lot of interesting things in this movie to analyze.
Personally, I just feel like we haven't learned enough from our past is what really goes on when you're watching that movie, but that's okay.
We never do, Cliff, because there's always a new generation that is behind us that doesn't have the knowledge that we have.
And
also you change. You learn a few things along the way that may color your thought, your thoughts and how you feel about things, or may break how you feel and think about things. And this movie, it's interesting. It's an interesting watch, and I think you guys should watch it. Come along this Friday and let us know what you think.
Awesome.
I'll be avoiding that one.
Oh, Cliff, you gotta go
be there.
Absolutely not.
Here's the rest of the schedule. I will be on Falling Down. I'll also be reviewing Martin, which is a really freaky movie. I watched some of it the other night. I'll tell you what, Raleigh knows how to pick some freaky ass movies. And then we got the Fable. I'll be back with Fable. I got a busy week, guys.
Yeah,
I got to do Devil's Rejects next Wednesday, which is another freaky ass movie by Rob Zombie. And then we got Misery on the 20th. I'll be on that panel too, because I'm your biggest fan, Fable. It's for the best. It's for the best, right? All right. And then we'll be back with the movie about Henry Wayne Lucas, Portrait of a Serial Killer. And then I'll be back with The Substance on the 25th. And then we're ending it all on Robbie's channel with the Psycho franchise. He's going to be quite ambitious and go over all the Psycho movies. That's probably going to be a 4-hour show. But I'll be there for it. I'll be there for it. It sounds like fun to me. And I don't know if I got anything else to. Watch my video. Me and Jeff just released G.I. Joe issue 13, Last Plane from Rio Lindo. And don't forget about the Sunday Super Show Extravaganza at 6 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. We're going to be talking about the new Batwoman series with the new Comic Day previews and the new Lobo series written by Scotty Young. So I'm kind of excited about that. And like I said, I don't know. I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll go around the horn. Jeff, you got anything you want to say or highlight or shout out?
No, just that I'll be with Fable on Friday for Falling Down, and I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to talking about it in the frame of the time that it was made, And I'm going hard about tying it to
So
today.
Jeff.
All right. Then we got Aaron. Aaron, you got anything to shout out?
Just the same stuff, comic stuff, storytelling, music. Just click around for my stuff, people, and thanks for having me here, Matt.
All right. And I kind of already let the cat out of the bag. But Fable, go ahead. Shout out anything you want.
Yeah, man, just March Madness in general. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the whole entire month as we go over these movies that deal with madness. I think we've had a great first week. I think the second week is no different. I think we're going to end off really well. As far as me personally, yeah, go check out this one with where Cliff was on it with 12 Monkeys. I think
Oh yeah,
Cliff
you guys
freaking
did great.
Cliff
Such a
broke
good
my
one.
mind. That film. Oh.
It may have been the greatest review I have ever done. Although I'm very proud of my Vertigo review as well.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you definitely killed it, man. So yeah, check
Yeah,
out
that was
March
great, you
Madness,
guys. That was awesome.
All
I
right.
loved it.
Cliff.
What about Tom King?
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for it to be in.
man.
I was going to let you mention it. I thought that was amazing, by the way.
Thank you. Like, yes, please go over to Clip on Comics, go to the live streams, and go check my interview with Tom King. It's wonderful. And there we go. There I am.
There it
Thank you.
is. Yeah.
What's
Cliff,
going on
let
here?
me-
I'm not touching nothing. I'm not doing
StreamYard's
nothing.
acting like
The
an ass.
dog. Yeah, like we had a great time with Tom King. Every time he mentioned something, I was like, he's like, I love Legion of Superheroes. I'm like, I love Legion of Superheroes. He's like, I love the Freedom Fighters. I'm like, I love the Freedom Fighters. You know,
Cool. Yeah, I caught part of that. That was great.
we didn't get to. I mean, obviously, he couldn't tell us anything. So we basically like, what did it feel like when you got that credit on Superman? What did it feel like to be a showrunner? I did get a good answer. I got several good answers out of him. Did he mean to kill Alfred? Right? Did he expect Alfred to stay dead? And what does in production like? Which for him sounded like a nightmare because he is the producer and the writer for Mr. Miracle. So that meant him writing everything and then casting everybody from the main cast to a nurse who coughs and has one line in episode 6. So I really like getting a quick breakdown of that, but I think it's super fun. It's an hour and like 51 minutes. And he was very generous with his time. So I'm really excited about that. I have other things coming too, but I think that one's a big deal. So go check it out.
That
I
is a
think it
big
is too.
deal.
You got a big
That was,
movie.
that
He's
was
got-
fantastic, Cliff.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
going to have his comic book is getting turned into a major motion picture this summer, and I think it's a big get you got. I'm really proud of you.
It's an inspiration. He has a producer credit. He has some knowledge of the movie. But the big deal for him is Lanterns and Mr. Miracle.
Oh yeah,
Both
definitely.
of those, he is directly involved with both of those.
Cool.
Right. And Supergirl is just like inspired by Tom King. And hey, it's nice to have you here, Tom. And that's it. It's
Yeah,
from
so
what
it's,
from what I gather. Right.
Yeah, okay. So that's what they did to Liefeld too with Deadpool. Like, we know you created the character, good boy, Rob, but you're not really part of the
Well,
thing.
apparently it took the third movie to really disinvite him. You know.
Oh, really? I guess so. Well, hey, Chad, what do you got coming up?
This Friday I will be on my buddy Miguel's channel, Toy Quest 101, for Collectors Assemble Live. It is 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We talk about all things pop culture with a focus on statue and premium figure collecting. And then I'm on most socials. I'm also on YouTube here. I do a little bit of my own content. I've done a few interviews, dropped some shorts lately. And then you can find my inventory, some of it, also on eBay. Let's see, Whatnot, I think I still have a little bit up. Or hit me up on Instagram. And then later on for March Madness, I will be on for California on the 27th. Yeah, Fable. And then rounding it out with Robbie on PCP Movie Night with Psycho. So,
All right, sounds good.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a great show. Remember, if you're ever in Haiti, and you run into a voodoo priest, stay away from him, or some of your body parts might get nailed to a chair.
Bring a cup.
And at least have a security team.
Yeah. But until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snoochie boochies.